Hello and welcome back to Linus Nunchaku, where today I will be teaching you the infinite quantum Wrip roll. So because of how complex this infinite Wrip roll sequence is, I would suggest that you know both your basic Wrip rolls and your ultimate figure 8 in both hands before attempting this move. If you'd like to see my tutorials on these moves, either click up here or check for the links in the description below. However, if you already know both of these moves, you can begin to unravel this rather intricate and complex infinite sequence. What you are doing in this move is performing a ultimate figure 8 on each side individually, and then bringing it to the middle for a Wrip roll so that you are able to transition it to the other side and keep the sequence continuous. This move is continuous because the ending and starting positions are the same, and therefore it will allow you to easily transition into performing another set of this move, and therefore an infinite sequence. So start out by holding your nunchucks with each hand in a front grip like this. You're holding in a front grip instead of a back grip like you would for a normal Wrip roll because you are catching the nunchuck as it swings upward, and therefore you need your hand to be facing downwards. Then from here, use the thumb of one hand to grip and throw the nunchuck behind the other nunchuck that you're holding onto in your other hand. This is different from your normal wrist roll because in your normal wrist roll you're using your palm to accelerate the nunchuck over the top of the other hand and behind the nunchuck that you're holding onto. But in this case, you're using your thumb, because your hand is facing downwards, to throw the nunchuck behind the nunchuck that you're currently holding onto with your other hand. Then once you're here, you're simply performing your normal front grip to back grip wrist roll by releasing the nunchuck that you're currently holding onto and switching over to grabbing the other nunchuck and swinging the other end around. Then from here, swing the nunchuck inwards so that it lands in front of your body, allow it to revolve around upwards, and swing it back off to the side like this. By using the momentum that you've gained by performing the partial figure 8, you'll be able to easily perform a back grip to front grip wrist roll off to the side like this, and end up in a front grip with the momentum that you've used from that partial figure 8. So once your nunchuck is off to the side in a front grip like this, what I like to do is add another extra spin around and then bring the nunchuck back to the Wrip roll, instead of simply bringing the nunchuck from out here directly back into the Wrip roll. By adding this extra spin after the back grip to front grip wrist roll that's off to the side, it will allow you to more easily line up your nunchucks and transition smoothly between the Wrip rolls. By adding this extra spin, you are also adding another cool spin to your sequence and will therefore make the sequence generally more visually appealing. So once you've finally finished the extra spin and you've brought the nunchuck back to the center to be caught by your other hand facing downwards by swinging the nunchuck up into that hand and catching it there, you've completed the first half of the move. So once again, for the first half of this move, use your thumb to throw the nunchuck behind the nunchuck that you're currently holding onto like this, and perform a back grip to front grip wrist roll and swing the other end around so it hangs downwards like this. So once you're holding your nunchuck like this, use the momentum from the front grip to back grip wrist roll to perform a partial figure 8 in a back grip like this, and use that momentum in order to perform a back grip to front grip wrist roll off to the side. Once you've performed the back grip to front grip wrist roll and you're holding your nunchuck off to the side like this, swing the end around and add an extra spin before bringing your nunchuck back to your center to be caught by the other hand that is facing downwards as the other nunchuck swings upward and in your hand like this. This is what the completed first half of this move should look like. For the second half of this move, what you're doing is mirroring everything that you've performed on one side over to the other side. This is why it is so essential to practice all of your moves on both hands, because it will make this integration process of using both of your hands much simpler. This time use the hand that was previously performing the move on the other side to scoop the other end of the nunchuck and throw it behind the nunchuck that you're currently holding onto like this, so that the chain of the nunchuck wraps behind your hand like this. From here, release the nunchuck that you're currently holding onto, perform a back grip to front grip wrist roll, and swing the other end around just like you did on the other side previously. From here, use the momentum from your front grip to back grip wrist roll to perform a slight and partial figure 8 that goes in front of your body. Once you have performed that and your nunchuck is hanging off to the side like this, perform a back grip to front grip wrist roll by swinging the other end around and bringing it behind the hand that is holding the nunchuck in a back grip like this, and switch over to the other side in a front grip. From here, swing the other end around so that it's hanging off to the side like this in a front grip. Perform the extra spin, and then catch the nunchuck in front of your body like this with the other hand facing downwards as the nunchuck swings upward into your other hand. So once again, use the nunchuck that was previously performing the move to throw the nunchuck behind the other nunchuck that you're still holding onto in a front grip on the side that was previously not performing the move, and wrap the chain of the nunchuck over the back of your hand like this. From here, simply perform the front grip to back grip wrist roll and transition your hand over to the other side and swing the other end around so that it hangs downwards like this. Then perform a partial figure eight so it swings outwards in front of your body and then downwards off to the side like this. When your nunchuck is out here, use the momentum coming off of the partial figure eight in order to perform a back grip to front grip wrist roll by swinging the nunchuck upwards behind your hand like this and letting go of the nunchuck that you're currently holding on to and grabbing onto the other nunchuck in a front grip off to the side like this. Once your nunchuck is off to the side like this in a front grip, swing the other end around, perform an extra spin, and bring the nunchuck back to your center like this, catching it with the other hand as the nunchuck swings upwards into the palm of your hand like this. This is what the second half of this move should look like. Keep in mind when you are first beginning to practice this move that it is very detailed and intricate and requires a lot of practice and patience in order to get the nunchucks to swing properly in the direction that you want them and to use the momentum coming off of each of the different spins and moves in order to keep this sequence continuous. Here is the full move in slow motion. Another great part of this move is that after each portion you will end up with both of your hands in a front grip like this. From here, you have a lot of flexibility to transition into and out of this sequence, and will therefore be a great move to integrate into whatever spinning routine you are performing. I hope you learned something today. If you have any other questions concerning nunchucks or this move specifically, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials coming in the future, and go check out some of the other various nunchuck related tutorials that I have on my channel.